If you're experimenting with keto or intermittent fasting and you're struggling with muscle cramps and muscle spasms, let's take a look at a couple of reasons why this is happening. Hi, I'm Coach Robb. At the time of this recording, I've been a human performance specialist for 41 years. And over the last 40 years, I've seen all kinds of fad diets come and go. At the time of this recording, intermittent fasting and keto are two of the most popular. And I get asked this question quite often, Rob, why am I dealing with muscle cramps? Why do I have cramping in general throughout my body? With a little bit of discussion, we find out that they've tried this idea of keto and/or intermittent fasting. And I want to explain that these two things directly contribute to muscle cramping because of the way that they suggest you eat. Now, that may seem like an obvious statement when you're connecting a fad diet with a current situation, such as muscle cramping. But here's the caveat. Most people don't even understand what are the negative side effects of keto and intermittent fasting. Now, I could do literally a 2-hour video here with you about the negative side effects of both, and that's beyond the scope of the video here today, When you look at keto and the way that they recommend that you eat, the characteristics of keto is what we refer to as a diuretic diet. One of the things that this combination of foods, the way that they outline it, actually will cause the body to flush itself of fluids. And unfortunately, when you flush fluids out of the body, you're flushing electrolytes like calcium, magnesium, potassium. All of the electrolyte family gets flushed out. Now, when you go and you research this, you will see that the characteristics of keto have a diuretic characteristic. This is part of the sales pitch on how much weight you're going to lose. When you're looking at the idea of today's conversation associated with electrolytes, associated with muscle spasms, well, now you understand that keto literally flushes the electrolytes that you need for muscle contraction through your urinary tract. That's just the characteristics of the keto diet. When we come over to the subject of intermittent fasting, literally, whether you're saying that you're going to fast for 6, 12, 24, 48 hours, whatever that window of time is, you have to realize that there's no influx of food. Now, again, that may sound like an obvious statement, but the body does not like to be stressed like that. And it's beyond the scope of this video as to, yes, I know the body will adapt when it's put into a situation like that, but that's called surviving, not thriving. So again, that's beyond the scope of what we're talking about here today. The subject is, why would my muscles go into spasm when I'm using or implementing intermittent fasting? Well, I'm just going to stay focused on fruits and vegetables. Besides the fact that you're taking in no foods whatsoever for an extended period of time, you have to remember that your body on this side of the equation is still functioning. You're getting up and you're going about your day. The muscles are contracting, your body's losing fluid. Well, when you do the intermittent fasting, particularly the void of fruits and vegetables, you're not taking in the electrolytes and the high water content associated with fruits and vegetables. So this lack of food coming in is a catalyst for muscle cramping and muscle spasms. Over here, they're telling you to still stay hydrated, but the problem is, if you've ever studied the subject of hyponatremia, when you take in straight water, it dilutes the electrolytes in your blood. So you have a double whammy. You're not taking in fruits and vegetables. You're trying to quote unquote stay hydrated because you drink fluid, which flushes more of the electrolytes out, which becomes another catalyst or a worsening environment for muscle spasms and muscle cramping. Not an ideal situation. Now let's zoom out to 10,000 feet. Whether you're doing keto or you're doing intermittent fasting, you're struggling with the muscles going into spasm at night while you sleep. Maybe you're struggling at work or at school with muscles cramping in different parts of your body. If you consider yourself an athlete, you may notice that you're having muscle cramps when you exercise. Unfortunately, you may notice that you're losing power, you're losing endurance, and you're losing speed. Well, that's because the muscles need electrolytes to contract. Your brain needs sugar to be able to think. So if you're not getting carbohydrates coming in, carbohydrates also can be referred to as sugar, the brain doesn't get what it needs. Now again, before you leave any nasty comments, and I say that totally respectfully, or as respectfully as I can rather, I understand the body breaks down muscle tissue, it starts to convert ketones for the need of the brain, but again, that's putting the body in a state of survival, not thriving. This video is more about why are the muscles cramping, why are you dealing with muscle spasms. It's the lack of electrolytes. Either no food at all coming in, or the keto type of diet is actually flushing the electrolytes out of your system. It's a lose-lose situation for you, particularly for an extended period of time. I can't thank you enough for taking the time to watch this video. Every video that we put out is answering your questions. So if you have a question, please feel free to send it to me. contact@coachrob.com. If you haven't liked, subscribed, please do so. Turn on the notifications because we do answer your question every day here on YouTube, and I want you to be made aware of it. Thank you again for your time today, and we certainly look forward to seeing you tomorrow.